Hi, Pdgcast here, Jamaican content creator. Not a YouTuber, so I have a page on Instagram as well. Be sure to follow that where I post more skits, short form content there. I think I'm gonna go back to YouTube, just being the long form content and all that. More the Pdgcast and maybe bring back vlogs. Because I kind of have like a steady little thing doing in Roppongi, I'll probably do some more vlog style for the nightlife in Tokyo, Japan. Going forward. But speaking of nightlife, like. I've been going out in Tokyo for the last 5 years, 4.5 years. And recently, in the last 2.5 years, I've been really active, like in the nightlife, just going out and doing events, emceeing at clubs, emceeing at parties, mostly. And you see some stuff. You see some really interesting stuff that I don't know if it's unique to Japan, but it's just something that I've observed more of. Not that I'm actually on the stage most time looking down or looking at the crowd or seeing things from a higher point of view. And I guess it's just a thing around the world. Girls love DJs. Is that an assumption? Or artists, musicians, creatives? Yeah, I love that. Cool. Who can get them in the club, reduce the price? Promoters in Japan are probably one of the most popular sets of people. And a lot of promoters are in Tokyo. And the Tokyo entertainment scene circle is also kind of small. Not small, it's relatively small, but people know people, and within a couple, if you live within Tokyo, and you're in a nightlife scene, you get to know the people that are pretty much around and about. Uh, One thing I've realized about the nightlife here in Japan, I didn't really party hard when I was in Jamaica, to be honest. But the amount of things that I've seen couples do, or things that I figured that would be normal for couples to do when they go out, don't really happen out here in Japan. So one of the first things I observed is that one, don't ever you assume that because a man and a woman go out together, enter the nightclub together, that they're together. Too many times I've seen a guy carry a girl. I don't know if he carried her on a date or he came here for the final part of the night to warm her up to whatever is supposed to be done after, I guess. And I've seen people come together and say, oh, they're together because they're dancing beside each other or dancing with each other, drinking, talking, having a regular conversation. Something that if you have a date, you'll do. And then by the end of the night, there's somebody else another man has come through and snatched this Japanese man's date or girl, and it's usually a foreigner. And I don't know if the Japanese girls are just always quote unquote curious to try a foreigner or want to see what a foreigner is like. But man, I can share exact story. I was in Harlem, and in Harlem, there's usually a hip hop type club, right? But this event upstairs Harlem was the no, not Harlem, Club Asia, and we're at an event, a Jamaican dancehall type event, and saw a girl come in and she's dancing to the song, not really dancing hard, but she's chilling. And with this Japanese dude, and I just thought they were together. I assume and they were pairing the dancing. He did a little dance and she was looking at him, and then she danced back. And it was kind of fun to go back there drinking and whatever. Cool. By midway through the night, I see this dude here who doesn't even speak Japanese come across and try to talk to her, but she never give no pay. And then all of a sudden, she's dancing with another foreigner, black dude, I think. And she's starting to put it on the dude. I'm like, wow, okay, girl. All right, girl, but that was your boyfriend. Wasn't her boyfriend. Like by 4:30, man looked like he gave up and said, all right, I'm gonna leave. Bye. All right, see you. And I was like, wait, what? And this man who doesn't speak Japanese is visiting this girl up. So, you want to you want to get out here and Google Translate and type them like, no, no way that actually works. But if you want something, you just have to find a way to get to it, right? And that's pretty much a theme here in Japan. I think also that infidelity here is pretty high. I'm not complaining. I'm making an observation because people these days can't separate the two, and because I'm not riding Japan's noodle, I'm not sucking its sushi down like it's water. People tend to misconstrue my intentions or misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm just highlighting points that I've seen anecdotally. Hopefully, if there's empirical data to support it, I'll get it and talk about it. But right now, we're in anecdotal. All right, my 9 years in Japan, my experiences. I'm sharing my experiences. So you can't tell my experience is wrong. You can just tell me you have never had that experience. Cool. So imagine you spend all that money for your girl to come in on your date to go in somewhere, and somebody just walks out with her to the love hotel, gets the final prize. You break down all these levels, and somebody just comes in at last and sweeps the girl away. She's not, of course, she's not your property. I'm not saying that, and you have no right to be buying a girl a drink. Obviously, it doesn't give you a right to the girl. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean she has to reciprocate in a way. I get all of that. What I'm saying is, it sucks for you to put in all that work, and boy, it doesn't seem like you don't get a reward. Somebody else gets to reap the fruits of your labor. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, the next thing I saw recently in Roppongi. Now Roppongi is not typically how Japan is set up. Roppongi is almost like a different country in how it's operated. It's many foreigners, many Africans, lots of black people in Roppongi, a lot of foreigners have owned bars there, own businesses there, many different places, and the place goes on till 2 p.m. the next day. People are still out partying. The different bars you go to at different points of the night, or different clubs you go to at different points of the night. You go to, like, say, you go to R3 early. After R3 you go to Ibex, and after Ibex you go to like a place like Odeon or Vibration, or one of those places, and you go party till the morning. One morning I was there till 10 o'clock. 10, right? And people were still partying and still drinking. I'm like, Jesus, how do people do this every weekend? Last week I pulled a double, a Saturday, a Friday, and a Saturday, plus my regular work on Saturday afternoon. I was of no use to anybody. Then I had to go do my hair. You understand me? It's crazy. But yes, recently in Odeon, I saw we had a Jamaican event there again. Thank you, big up to Vincent and the Odeon boss out there who allowed for this event to happen. And we're there vibing cool, and I'm watching. I'm telling DJ, look at this girl here. I saw her dance, and she was looking at me like she's like, I don't know if you've been in Japan before, or anyway. When women want to flirt with you, or Japan call it nampa, they give you this look, like you see a look, and she's like, and she smiled at me. I was like, "Oi, kioskete." I said, "Be careful, because I know you have a boyfriend." I saw a boyfriend. They were earlier smoking hookah together, right? Cool. He goes to go to the bathroom to have a drink, and as sharkish as people are, who's that behind her now dancing? African man. Winding up on her and saying, yeah, and he's having a good time, and she's throwing it back, and I'm like, All me says, careful, careful, because I know I don't want any fights happening in my party. 5 minutes later, probably went for a cigarette, because it was a long time. He comes back and sees his girl dancing, African dude. South African dude spotting he was the boyfriend. Said, hey, okay, sorry, step back. I said, okay, you dance with her. So he's guiding the Japanese guy to his Japanese girlfriend. You know what the Japanese guy did? Come closer. People, the Japanese guy pushed his girl aside and started dancing with the African man. If that is not Japanese, I don't know what is. They act like this. I don't get it. I don't get it. If it's any other country, there's problems. Right here. Yo, it's my girl, dog. What you doing? I was like, so this thing. I started dancing like a little ball dancing to some Afrobeat. I'm like, no, 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 no way, fam. Are you a cuckold? Sorry, is that the word? What is it? Like, was he watching from afar? Anyways, after you go black, you never crack, or whatever the people say. And she was not feeling his dance anymore, the Japanese dude, and she wasn't happy with him. And he went and sat down, and next African dude came. I think I was dancing with her, and he's like, "Hey, no, okay, stop now, no more. This means dame, stop, don't do it in Japanese, all right? Dame or muri or whatever. It's like a negative. It's a negative affirmative. Wait, what's English? It's a no. It's basically a no. All right, or it can't work. Cool. Then of course I said, as predicted, the man, the girlfriend, and the boyfriend started quarreling, and then the vibe just died out after that. But I mean, like, In Japan, they literally don't think they care about a woman. I don't think they care. I literally don't care because when I see the couples walking out here in Japan, usually the man is in front and the woman is behind. If that woman is behind in Jamaica, that woman is gone. A man take with a girl. Not like kidnap, but would have persuaded her, raised her up, and gone multi business with her, while the man is walking in front like a proud idiot. Right? I don't think a lot of Japanese men, based on what I've seen, and they don't really express themselves to women one. And if you are worse than black men in expressing yourselves when it comes to feelings and emotions, then trust me, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. And yes, black men will typically get told to repress their emotions because it would make them vulnerable and seem weak, which is actually the opposite. But we digress. All right, cool. So I've seen that, and I've seen a lot of. I've been in situations where you see somebody being pulled with against their will, because you're a foreigner and they're Japanese. You don't want if you get involved, they might flip it on you, right? Domestic quarrels and stuff. I don't get involved in because this is not my country. They have made it perfectly clear. This is not my home. This is not my home. But this is where I live. It's not my home. You understand what I'm saying? It's not my country. Right? So I have to be careful how I step. Because any false move I make as a foreigner in Japan, I can get sent back home. Or at least kicked out of this country and lose my job, lose my income, you know what I mean? So we have to be walking on eggshells sometimes. Me in certain situations, right? But yeah, yeah, man. I find that it is interesting just the different dynamics in the culture here in terms of dating as well. If you don't explicitly state that you're dating, then you're not dating, and you have to go through the steps here in Japan. A couple dates, like, and you can't confess your love before you go on the 3 dates, or so I've been told. Yeah, man. But and also another thing is that a lot of these guys, especially Japanese guys, wait until you go and talk to the girl and they see the reciprocation and see she's feeling you. Then they swoop in now and say, "Hey, friend, let's buy you a drink." And they want to buy you all a drink, trying to raise up the girl and impress her with their money. Usually, most girls are not. I'm lying. I'm lying. Other girls are impressed by money and clothes here in Japan. Foreigners and Japanese alike. Um, so I found it weird that persons treat you so much more differently when they find out who knows you and like knows you and is related or is related to you here in Japan. And I have seen girls, big women, um, basically ignore you until they realize that you're actually very good friends with the DJ or the club owner or the promoter. And they walk in and the promoter makes a big deal about you, or the club owner makes a big deal about seeing you, hugging you, and whatever. And then all of a sudden, now you're a person. So you have to be careful and mindful of those type of people. Those are parasites. You don't want them in their life. Yeah. Yeah. In 2 weeks, Soka in Japan event is coming up. There's Juve. There's another event that we're playing at Hotter Vibes. Me and DJ Heat. Dre is in, and DJ Heat makes Hotter Vibes sound. All right. I am not Hotter Vibes. Cool. Yeah. So look out for that. Some vlogs from that coming up. And the patrons, my loyal patrons, my few patrons, love you so much. Thank you for staying with me. You guys get content on the Patreon that no one else gets because y'all are special. All right. Starts as low as I think it's $3, even $3 Patreon. $3 and $5 tier is a $10 tier. So let me know, join it, become part of PDG Nation. Hopefully, I told you about the Ningen Doku. I did have to do a further test soon. I'll let you know about that. Apparently, my eyes are like 12 and 13 out of 20, so I need to get corrective lens. I don't know how that will go, but that's another thing. Yeah, because guys, content creator, Ikiba Show. I'm out.